Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ambassador's Lounge. As you all know, the foreign ministers of Pakistan, Afghanistan and China met last week in Beijing to discuss issues relating to regional cooperation and to discuss issues which affect peace and stability in the region. This meeting was chaired by the Foreign Minister of China, and it was held, it was a part of the trilateral, informal trilateral mechanism which exists between these three countries and which was established in 2017. The key highlights or takeaways of the trilateral meeting was, number one, extension of CPEC under the broader framework of BRI cooperation. The foreign ministers agreed that this would increase regional connectivity and it will boost trade. Then the three foreign ministers expressed their commitment to regional security and counter-terrorism. They pledged to increase intelligence sharing and coordinate security efforts. According to Chinese Foreign Office, the foreign ministers of Pakistan and Afghanistan clearly expressed willingness to upgrade diplomatic relations to ambassador's level. Pakistan Foreign Office in a statement said that it welcomed positive momentum in bilateral ties, including enhanced diplomatic engagement, trade and transit facilitation. Ladies and gentlemen, the trilateral meeting comes at a very crucial time when important events were unfolding in the region, particularly in South Asia, events which have the capacity and the capability to leave a lasting impression on the geopolitical makeup and future of the region. There are great economic and security challenges, and of course coordinated efforts are required to tackle terrorism and militancy. I have with me Ambassador Asif Durrani and Ambassador Amjad Sher to discuss various aspects of the trilateral meeting, how important it was and what role it is expected to play, because the three foreign ministers also agreed that the sixth meeting of this arrangement would be held in Kabul ASAP. Asif, coming to you first, how significant is this Beijing bilateral meeting in bridging trust deficit between Taliban and Pakistan?
Thank you, Imran. I think since it was, as you said, an informal meeting, so it means it called for the urgency to meet, and the three foreign ministers, they met in Beijing. Otherwise, the regular meeting was slated for Kabul, and most probably next month. So in between, this is, and if you look at it in the background, that there was exchanges between India and Pakistan, this meeting assumed more importance, greater importance. And which is why I think, and then as you said, that the statement issued by the Chinese Foreign Office was very significant. Not only it talked about raising the level of diplomatic presence between Pakistan and Afghanistan to ambassador's level, but it also talked about extension of CPEC to Afghanistan.
Exactly.
That is the, you can say, most important aspect, because it is going to enhance connectivity. And another important aspect of this visit, the outcome of this visit, was that Uzbekistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan railway line, that Chinese have expressed their interest to build that. So far, I think the countries were looking for the investors.
So China is getting greatly involved, actively involved in the regional affairs.
This is very much obvious. And this is also obvious that with regard to connectivity, now CPEC is going to gain traction, and traction not only within Pakistan and in the MENA region, Middle East and North Africa, but also Central Asia and beyond.
Asif, it seems that China brings new possibilities to Pakistan-Afghan relations.
In fact, you have hit the nail on the head. Earlier, there were, with bilaterally between Pakistan and Afghanistan, there were promises. But with the entry of China, now Afghan Taliban government also realizes that they have certain commitments to meet, and this is very important. In my view, this is going to change the face of the bilateral and trilateral relationship.
You think so?
In the region.
But Amjad, coming to you, I mean, Asif delved in detail about the role of China in Pakistan-Afghan relations. Why is Pakistan and Afghanistan, the two governments, unable to resolve their differences bilaterally? Why do we need the presence of China?
Well, in fact, thank you, Imran. In fact, China has also a great role to play in the region, in the sense that China has made significant investment in Afghanistan. And this significant investment is not going to work without the support of Pakistan. Secondly, the region, our region, this Pakistan, Afghanistan and China, they are confronted with the security issues, especially for the Chinese ETIM, East Turkmenistan in Islamic movement. That is also a terrorist group. Afghanistan is confronted with the challenge of ISIS, Khorasan, and Pakistan obviously with TTP. So these three also have got shared concerns. How to counter this? So China is in the field, first to counter terrorism, secondly connectivity, third is the diplomatic dialogue, how to bring Afghanistan out of isolation into this thing. And fourth important thing is the energy. Afghanistan obviously is the corridor, if I'm not wrong, I would say I call Afghanistan the Switzerland of Asia, because it connects 6 countries with each other. So that's why China is going to play the role, because it also has got interests.
So Amjad, tell me one, is Pakistan and Afghanistan, are these two countries capable of, or the leadership, are they capable of removing their irritants bilaterally? What we have seen is that they continue.
They are capable to remove their irritants, and their irritants for Pakistan, the only irritant is the TTP. There is no other.
That is the main irritant, Amjad.
No, this is what I am saying. That's why now recently, you might have heard yesterday, the Taliban government formally announced, Saeedul Saeed, the spokesperson at the Amir Hamza Military Academy in Kabul, he announced that this is the edict.
But this edict was announced earlier also.
Earlier also, but it was also announced now publicly on TV channels that there is no need for jihad, and it was a message for the TTP, these militant groups, ISIS and also ETIM, that no need for jihad, and the Taliban have also realized that they are living in this world and they need economic stability. They are now, apart from the internal stability, also now they need economic stability, and they want to join the world.
Okay. Asif, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang, he said that Pakistan, Afghanistan expressed the willingness to elevate diplomatic relations and agreed in principle to promptly send ambassadors to each other's capital. Our press release issued by the Foreign Office makes no mention of it.
No, but I think it will be done, because
it says that the stakeholders are being consulted.
Of course, they are being consulted. But
were they not consulted before?
But the Chinese Foreign Office's statement would not have been issued without the consent of Pakistan.
There you go, absolutely correct.
So and by raising the level to ambassadorial level doesn't mean that recognition is forthcoming.
Of course not.
China did that last year, rather a year and a half before, and they have not recognized the regime in Kabul, but at the same time they have elevated the status of their diplomatic presence.
So, sticking on this point, what I would like to know is there some differences, or are the stakeholders not on the same page as far as elevation of bilateral relations is concerned?
Imran, the issue is that even if we today recognize, so what will happen? For instance, before 9/11, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia and UAE recognized
yes.
Afghanistan. The rest of the world did not recognize. So what difference did it make? Even if we recognize today. So it is, I think, the Afghan interim government, it is incumbent upon the Afghan interim government to take certain measures which are expected of it in order to become the part of the international community. So that's very important. And for that, they have to take a sovereign decision.
How would this elevation of relations to the ambassador level, do you think it will impact, or it will have positive impact on Afghanistan-Pakistan bilateral
I think
relations?
it would signal to the world also.
No,
So China has done it.
I'm talking about Pakistan-Afghanistan.
Yes, of course. So for Afghanistan, it would also be a moral booster for them. They can show to their own domestic audiences and also to the world that, look, China has upgraded its relationship with us. So has Pakistan.
So
and
has
there'll be
UAE,
other countries.
yes, so has Russia.
Yes. So this is this will have a political, you can say, signaling, which will be going out.
Are we reluctant to upgrade the relations?
No, we
You're
are
not
not
reluctant.
regular. We are not reluctant. The
Then
issue
why
is,
did our foreign press release was not categorical about it?
this is precisely the reason that even if we do express, it won't make a difference because we will be the only one voice.
Asif, Chinese foreign minister says the two foreign ministers agreed. Right now, our press release, the foreign
We have
office
not denied it.
press release does not state this
We
thing.
have not denied it.
But you have not accepted it. You have not stated it.
But it will be, you will see soon, there will be exchange of ambassadors.
I hope so.
This is what I can tell you
Great.
on authority.
Amjad, Pakistan's policy on Taliban has oscillated between diplomacy and military action. In this context, it seems again that the stakeholders are not on the same page. There is uncertainty on how to deal with the Taliban. Has the conflict with India contributed in bringing strategic clarity in Pakistan on the need to work closely with Afghanistan?
Listen, during this conflict, renewed tension between India and Pakistan, there was no negative or anti-Pakistan, statements. Or the Afghan people did not, I would say, mention anything anti-Pakistan. So there, in the first place, Afghans, like in the past, also did not, take side with either India or Pakistan. That they remained, neutral in the sense. One. The second thing is that Taliban, it's an interim government. The world has yet to recognize them, and so Pakistan is also taking all its measures and trying to engage with the Taliban in this hope. And this trilateral forum is also an effort towards that end. That if China, a country like the Security Council member, permanent member, is engaged with Afghanistan, so is Pakistan being a neighbor, so the rest of the world will also follow suit.
Asif, the statement issued by Afghanistan was, number one, that they condemned the Pahalgam. Of course, everyone condemned, even we condemned it.
Yeah.
The second part of the statement said that India is an important country in the region. And we went to the extent, to this context, that we would like to develop relations with India. Now, Indians took this as something which is supportive of India and against Pakistan.
You are right. They misinterpreted this statement. In fact, they included Afghanistan's this statement as if supporting India apart from Israel. So they said in the world only Afghanistan and Israel have supported us. But it was a misrepresentation of facts. As you rightly said, we also condemned the Pahalgam incident. And then if Afghanistan expresses its desire to have good relations with India, it is a normal sovereign decision of Afghanistan and it should be done. We also want to have a normal relationship with India. We never said that we don't want that. But it is the other side which is adamant to dictate their own agenda. They want to be hegemonic. They want to, their intransigence actually is not helping improving the situation between the two countries.
Amjad, there was a call between Indian External Affairs Minister Mr. Jaishankar and his Afghan counterpart. And this, to some analysts, it signals a shift in India-Afghanistan relations in a volatile climate as far as we are concerned. Now, is it a precursor to any shifting of geopolitical dynamics in South and Central Asia?
I don't think so. Afghanistan has its own. Look, Afghanistan is, is going through an isolation process. For Afghanistan, it is foremost to have the recognition, international recognition of the interim government. Pakistan is one of the countries that is trying, along with China, to obtain recognition, diplomatic recognition for Afghanistan. I don't think so India has ever done that effort in the past or now. They are not doing it now. The visits by the Indian foreign external ministries officials is an effort to at least have some kind of statements from the interim Afghan government, which can be interpreted as anti-Pakistan. But so far, it is for now for the Indian government that misinterpret any statement.
But India says it attaches a lot of importance and a lot of significance to this telephone conversation. In fact, they say, their analysts say that this is because you see, it's a gradual elevation of India-Afghanistan context. It was foreign secretary, foreign minister before they were officials.
There has been this telephonic conversation and telephonic call from each other in the past between the two countries. Even there was also the Indian external affairs ministers, officials, even their foreign secretary had visited Afghanistan.
The foreign secretary did not visit Afghanistan. They met in Dubai.
But there was
their joint secretary was there.
There was a senior official.
Joint secretary, yes.
He visited Kabul, and obviously in diplomacy you try to maintain contacts with each other, but it does not mean that a country will follow your agenda or follow your, your whatever you want to them.
Asif, what we are seeing now is that Afghanistan or the Taliban gradually number of options are opening up to them. They are interacting with Iran, they are interacting with Russia, they are interacting with UAE. There was also reports of US delegation coming. So a number of options are being opened for the Taliban. Do you think Taliban are becoming more independent as far as their foreign policy is concerned?
I think Taliban are independent. From the very beginning.
Okay.
And they have pursued an independent policy. But their foremost preference would be recognition. However, that would be a tall order for them to be recognized. And for that, they have to take certain measures, including inclusivity, human rights, especially girls' right to education and women's right to work. Those are the stumbling blocks which the US and the West, they have created.
These stumbling blocks are only as far as US is concerned, as far as West is concerned. Otherwise, for the rest of the world, they are not considering this as stumbling block. They are trying to woo the Taliban.
The rest of the world is looking at the US and the West because they will formulate their own mind and policy towards Afghanistan once they think that decks are clear.
Asif, the reason why I asked this question was that you are aware that the Deputy Interior Minister of Afghanistan, Ibrahim Sadr, he visited India on May 3rd, and they say he is a close associate of Akhundzadeh, and he met Indian officials. Now, following this visit on the 15th of May, Dr. Jay Shankar called his counterpart in Afghanistan. Are these relations being recalibrated?
Imran, those are two different issues. The Afghan Deputy Interior Minister went there for treatment.
That's what.
Earlier he was here also. So there's serious health issues with him. And Mr. Jaishankar called on 15th of May. Once they realized that they are standing alone as far as international public opinion is concerned. So they wanted to clutch the straw.
So you mean to say there is no connection between the visit of the Deputy Interior Minister and the...
I don't think so, because whatever connection, it should have come up in the open. If it is in the wraps, there's nothing. And but what was open was the trilateral meeting between Pakistan, Afghanistan and Chinese foreign ministers, the highest level. And the next meeting they decided to go for the foreign minister level at Kabul. So that's the visibility you can talk about from diplomatic point of view.
Amjad, your take on this?
Well, I think we should not look at the statements and meetings from this point of view that Afghanistan is getting closer to India. As Ambassador Asif Durrani mentioned, that the sole purpose of the visit of the Interior Minister was for medical treatment.
Deputy Interior Minister.
Deputy
Interior Minister. So that, I think that was, and if the Jaishankar had a meeting with any other Afghan interim government officials, I think that was also in the not in the bilateral contract.
So we are not concerned about, we are not worried about improving Afghanistan-India relations.
Is a sovereign, independent country. They can have.
But we would want that if these relations develop, they do not affect security and stability of Pakistan.
Afghan interim government is, I think, intelligent enough that they should not antagonize a country like Pakistan.
Amjad, your views on this trilateral, how do you see?
The fifth meeting at the foreign minister level was held in Islamabad. You know, this trilateral forum is always held at the foreign minister level.
In May 2023.
In May 2023.
Yes. That was the last one.
Yes. That was the last one. After that, then at the end of April 2025, there was special envoys meeting in Kabul. During the meetings, envoys meeting with Nuruddin Azizi, the trade minister of Afghanistan, there were certain matters discussed, and these are quite encouraging. You know, the meeting discussed key issues. Look at the statements. Look, including the establishment of giant industrial parks in Afghanistan, the establishment of special economic zones, the launch of giant export processing zones, the holding of trilateral trade fairs, the establishment of small and medium-sized enterprises support centers in Afghanistan, and the facilitation of banking relations between three countries were also discussed and exchanged.
Three countries, you mean China, Pakistan,
Pakistan, Afghanistan. And the last meeting, which was held in Beijing, it also discussed, tariff-free exports to the Chinese market from Afghanistan, so as to support the Afghan economy. So these are, positive steps which have coming up after this trilateral forum.
But they were before the trilateral forum.
Yeah.
Okay, gentlemen, final question, both of you. Now, China, Pakistan, India, they are seeking greater engagement with Taliban. Of course, we all know they have their own strategic imperatives. and they are more focused on them than on human rights as the West is. Now, Pakistan would like Afghanistan to be neutral against India and not be used as Indian proxy. China views Afghanistan vital for expanding its BRI. India seeks engagement for countering China and Pakistan influence and for strategic access to Central Asia. Now, for Taliban, the temptations are quite high, but in the process, it can again become a geopolitical battleground in which Afghanistan is not treated as a sovereign country. Asif, is the great game being revisited?
I think India is not in a position to influence Afghanistan in a manner which Pakistan and China together can influence Afghanistan.
Yes. That's important, together.
And personally, I would also advise Pakistan should not unilaterally try to influence Afghanistan. And there's no
Could you be more specific on what you mean?
There's no need to patronize Afghanistan. We should have respectable distance with any Afghan government. Afghanistan is a sovereign state, but we should be ready to assist Afghanistan if they request for that. This is my sincere advice to our policymakers. But when it comes to China, so Pakistan and China have made common causes as far as stability in Afghanistan is concerned. And Pakistan and China together are the largest trading partner of Afghanistan. Pakistan and China together, in fact, provide much better and efficient connectivity to Afghanistan than any other neighbor in Afghanistan. India does not enjoy that advantage. Geographically, India is not in an advantage. India can only play the role of a spoiler, which they have been playing, by supporting the TTP through Afghan proxies. During the past 20 years, during Hamid Karzai and Ashraf Ghani's time, they were supporting TTP through Afghan proxies. And this is what otherwise India could not influence. Had this been the case, so India would have been very much sitting there. But they had to leave, they had to vacate Afghanistan immediately as soon as Ashraf Ghani government was toppled.
But Asif, it's very difficult to extricate India from the regional matters.
It's not the question of extricating. It is the role India plays. India
you can't deny India a role in the region if it wants to play.
We don't want to deny.
And if the Taliban
if they want to play a positive role, then it is possible. But if they want to play the mischief by supporting the fifth column or by supporting terrorists like TTP through Afghan proxies, and that too, those Afghan proxies are the relics of previous regimes. So then it creates problems.
Amjad, your take on this, please?
Well, I endorse the viewpoint of Ambassador Durrani. Geographically, India cannot do anything, but if India wants to help Afghanistan, and definitely Afghanistan needs assistance, international assistance, if it comes even from India, there is no harm in it.
India has been providing assistance.
Infrastructure projects like roads, hospitals, schools, universities, they have even built their parliament house. So that role is acceptable to the Afghans, but I am also sure that Afghan government, current Afghan government, interim government, is also cognizant of the fact that it cannot do without Pakistan or with China.
See, one thing I don't understand, China has been very hesitant, slow in exhibiting its interests in Afghanistan. But what we see is that suddenly after this Pahalgam affair, there is a greater urgency in the Chinese camp on improving relations. China is being more proactive as far as Afghanistan is concerned.
I think, Imran, this trilateral meeting was slated much before Pahalgam.
Okay.
So, but the informal meeting at the foreign ministers level in Beijing was important. It was important. But at the same time, I think Afghanistan also realizes that they have to improve the economic conditions of the country. And for that, Pakistan and China can play a very important role. And then I can also include Iran into that, and so other Central Asian countries. So in a way, this Pahalgam incident actually, this is again my personal view, has become a catalyst towards greater regional integration and connectivity as well as cooperation, in which the countries which are likely to join are Pakistan, Afghanistan, China.
And if things start
Central Asian
improving, then of
states and
course
Iran.
Central Asian states and Iran can join the party.
Including Russia.
Including Russia can join the party. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we have delved in detail on the importance of Pakistan, China, Afghanistan trilateral mechanism, which was held in Beijing, and in which important decisions were made, decisions which have which can impact the regional security and stability, and region and decisions which can help in removing irritants in Afghanistan by Pakistan relations. Normalization of relations between Pakistan and Afghanistan, it is on the cards. It's going to be a slow process, but the most important thing is that the two countries, the leadership of the two countries are showing interest and readiness and eagerness to engage with each other. For China, the core interest in Afghanistan can be categorized in three areas, that is connectivity, security and access to resources, mineral resources, oil and gas. China believes that Afghanistan is a core element, an important element in its BRI initiative. Therefore, the meeting endorsed, the foreign ministers of the three countries endorsed the expansion of CPEC into Afghanistan. And ladies and gentlemen, this would mean infrastructure development, resource extraction and greater trade. Now, those through CPEC extension, China hopes to play a greater role and a proactive role in the regional affairs. The next meeting is of the trilateral arrangement is expected in Kabul. No date has been given, but we believe that it could be an important event. Thank you for watching Ambassador's Lounge, and we will be back.